give me a moment to share with you an amazing conversation that was also a very fun and interesting one. It's my hope that what I share with you is a help to you the way I believe it was a blessing to this man. 39-year-old male client who is frustrated with his fiance, who is 32 years old. Also a client who recommended him to me. And he says that she changed after giving birth to their 4-year-old daughter. He jumped on the call and said, "Doc, my wife referred me to you." He said, "I'm a little nervous because I've watched some of your content and I've got a feeling this is going to be hard." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Well, we've been having problems and it's mainly been because of how I have commented to her about how much she's changed since having our daughter." I said, "What ways has she changed?" He said, "To be frank with you, Doc, she's just become lazier. She's gained weight. She doesn't seem to look after herself as much as she could." I said, "You all live together, right?" She said, "Yes, sir." I said, "And with your daughter, correct?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "So she's gained weight. She's lazy. She doesn't, keep up with herself. That's what your problem is?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I believe that women should be feminine, friendly, and fit." I put my head down on the call, chuckled to gather myself because I've heard that phrase before. I said, "Okay, cool, man." I said, so let's get into this. I said, "I get that men are visual. I understand that." I said, "But I want to be real clear with you. You cannot lead in some things and not lead in all things." I said to him, I said, "If you would allow me, this is going to be a very hard conversation for you. I'm tougher on men than I am women, especially men who claim they want to lead a family. I'm harder on you. To whom much is given, much more is required." I asked him a simple question. I said, "What is the difference between a leader and a provider?" He thought about it. He said, "Doc, I think, a leader is someone who tells people, what direction to go into, that helps people get into that direction." He said, "I think a provider is a person who gives to others." I said, "The reality is there is no difference between a leader and a provider, because what they both have in common is that both a leader and a provider gives. They give. A leader is a giver. A provider is a giver." I said, "And so if you don't understand that, we've got to start there." And I said, "I'm not just talking about money, but I'm talking about giving in all things." I said, "Have you heard of my 5 areas of being healed and whole?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Let's walk through them." I said, "Mentally, what are you giving?" He thought about it and paused. I said, "Let me put it this way. What was the last book you read?" He said, "Doc, it's been years." I said, "So mentally, you have no wisdom to give." I said, "Emotionally, you have no maturity to give." The very fact that you can see how she has changed since giving birth to your child, but you can't see how you changed since you all also started, shows me that you don't have emotional wherewithal and maturity. I said to him, I said, "What position and shape were you in when you all first got together?" He started laughing. He said, "My wife probably told you I put on some weight as well." I said, "How did you know?" I said, "Well, she, as your fiance, number one, soon to be wife, did say that you've changed as well, but she could live with it a little bit more if you were an example of the things that you expect from her." Looked at me, shook his head. He said, "Doc, I can see that." I said, "So before we get to that, I said, let's deal with this spiritual piece." I said, "Spiritually, you have no peace to give. Right now, your household is erratic because your behavior isn't calm and your mentality isn't calm." I said to him, one of the clear signs of being spiritually healed is a calm demeanor. Because when we are spiritually balanced, spiritually grounded in prayer, meditation, it causes us to be calm and cool and collected almost at all times. I said, you're creating chaos in your house because you're not calm. You're creating chaos in your house because you have no spiritual foundation. I said, but let's go there. I said, physically, you just admitted, and your wife did as well, that you've changed as well since the time you all have met. Is that correct? He said, yes, sir. He said, I probably gained about 30 pounds. I said, how tall are you? He said, 5'11". I said, how much do you weigh? He said, about 280, 290. I said, so you're 2 burgers away from my 600-pound life. And you're talking about what she has done since giving birth to your child. I said, look, man, I'm not being mean. I said, but you came to me because you knew I was going to be honest. We can never expect more from people than we're not willing to give ourselves. I said, let's think about this financially. I said, you all have been together for 4 or 5 years. You've got a 4-year-old daughter. I said, how long have you been engaged? He said, for 2 years. I said, why aren't you married? He said, Doc, right now I'm trying to get my money together. I said, oh, so financially you can't afford a wife. He started laughing and said, all right, Doc, I give up. I said, no. I said, I'm not being mean. I'm being honest with you. I said, you're too broke for a wife right now. You're overweight. You have no spiritual peace and calmness about yourself. You don't read, and you don't have any emotional intelligence. And you're telling me that she's fat and out of order. I said, listen, man, I want y'all to make it, and I know y'all can make it. I said, but please understand this one lesson about leadership. Leadership and providing is all about giving. And whatever you want from her, you've got to be willing to give to her. Don't ever forget it. I said, I would highly suggest you have a serious conversation with her. And you both set out a game plan of how you're going to improve things in your life moving forward. Set the plan and then move forward. He did something amazing. He stopped the call and said, hold on, Doc. Called her in the room. She comes in the room terrified. She's like crying. And I said, what is she crying for? She sits down in front of the camera and he apologized to her on the call. It was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen. And he said, Doc, I'm going to do better. She was sitting right there. She was like, thank you, Doc. Heck, almost had me crying. Said, Doc, I'm going to do better. I want to be the example. And I understand that leading is not just about having a position. It's about being in a posture. And that posture is called giving. And whatever a man expects from a woman, he has to first give to that woman. I hope this made sense. If it did, type church in the comments with 3 R's. And then remember, you've got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you. What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb. Listen, I've been dying to make this announcement for a very long time now, and I'm pleased to say that Inspire Nation has officially launched. Yes, we finally got a Facebook and YouTube community group where we're going to have exclusive content, exclusive shorts, exclusive discussion prompts, where we're going to engage with other people literally around the world who are on the same healing journey that we're on. I need you to go find these pages right now on Facebook and YouTube. Inspire Nation, follow the page, join the group, introduce yourself, and be prepared to link up with literally thousands of people around the world who are on the same healing journey, who are looking for the same resources, and who want to also be surrounded with other like-minded individuals who are growing in the same direction as you are. I'm so excited about this because it's the beginning of some great things I can't talk about right now. Listen, you got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.